Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Thank you for that, Big Gamey. That was perfect. We're going away from this scene. I don't like window swap scenes that are dashboard cams or train cams or whatever, but that was perfect timing. That was awesome. I hope you're having a great Monday. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Feel free to let us know if you did anything fun, special, relaxing, laid back over the weekend. Watch any movies, played any games, anything else, and all of you too. Any of you can do that. I hope you had a wonderful time. Today I am drawing from the energy well. I don't have any natural energy going on in me right now. It's all just stuff that I am pulling up and utilizing this way. I'm actually quite anxious. I don't know why. It started about 30 minutes ago, and I don't think it was the stream. I usually get anxiety before the stream, but this is like almost incapable of functioning kind of anxiety. So I'm working through that, but we're gonna have fun today, I hope. We're getting away from the data import utility that is wrapping up. The user is using it now in test still, but definitely trying to go through and see if stuff works. But the thing that I thought would be more interesting or fun. Oh, right. Before you do the redeem, I had to restart my bot not too long ago, so hopefully that refresh is enough to get the archery game working. What was I saying? Client is using the tool currently and in test and making sure that everything works. So we're just going to be addressing any issues that happen. I think we're going to have to do something else about trying to get the entire data import library into our open source version. Sorry, I had a something on my forehead that itched, and then it you know, details. So getting all of the files over into the data import library isn't really happening on Fridays because we've been having some interesting conversations, engaging conversations. Hello, DC Aggie. I was afraid we lost you in the little what do we want to call it? Scavenger hunt that I sent you on that you probably didn't go to, which is completely fine. I wasn't expecting anything. Y'all missed a great interim. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You were at the Visual Studio Code Live conference thing, whatever it was called. Man, yeah, VS Live, not Code Live. VS Live. How did it go? Did you have a lot of fun? You say that it was great and intimate. So does that mean that you got a lot out of it, or just that you enjoyed it, or both? Definitely let us know. Big Game Redeem Scratch Forehead. Fun, fantastic sessions and great speakers. Awesome. That is so good to hear that you were able to be exposed to that. Yay. I hope that we're going to do something that you will find fun today as well. The app, oh yeah, I guess to finish up what I was saying, the data import library, haven't been able to move the code over as much as I've been wanting to. As you know, I have been using Claude to completely rewrite the library anyway. Over the weekend, we finished it up, essentially. But there is so much that is just like, no. For example, I kind of do want to show this because we did have a discussion around this on Friday. And what I'm talking about is using AI for software development type stuff. And one of the things that I got out of this library redesign and restructure and all of that, just this morning I finished up having it generate all of the docs. GitHub is where I'm trying to go, I think. GitHub. And right now it's a private repo because I don't know, I plan on using some of the things, but I don't think it's good as is. So it is like super complex, in my opinion, to set up. Where's the actual getting started? Yeah, I didn't think so. We do have an API documentation. Oh, I need to update that. Wait. Oh, I started the LLM, but I didn't actually load the model. Give me about 2 seconds and he'll berate you like you're looking for. Okay, the model is loaded, so hopefully that last shot will trigger a response. Nope. What were you going to say? Okay. I mean, it did trigger a response, but not the droids we were looking for. I need to update the link to this thing. But here is essentially, like, I thought that you could make a wiki on GitHub, but maybe that's only in GitHub Enterprise, because I had only seen it with the previous company that I was working with. Please pay Disney $4,000 for the use of... Which word? What did I say? Oh, the droids. The phrase. The droids phrase. We didn't... Wait, really? Is that a Disney trademark? Are we not allowed to use droid? Because it's pretty common. It's pretty common. Asteroids. There. So Dugasoft, hi Dugasoft. Dugasoft told Automated Realms to load a sarcastic comment in that case, and Automated Realm says, and I'm gonna read this sarcastically because it was funny. I'm sorry, but I am unable to load a sarcastic comment. My programming is limited to providing helpful and respectful responses. Smug face. I'm sorry, but I cannot perform any actions beyond providing helpful and respectful responses. Smug face. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to ask. Smug face. All you have to do is put a smug face at the end and they're all sarcastic. Since when? Since the beginning of time, my dear Bit Gaming. Oh my goodness. So DCIQ was saying before Disney bought Lucas, they were very, very, very protective of Droid. The OG Android phone paid royalties. Oh, I didn't even know that. Jeepers. I sense sarcasm there. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, what I just wanted to show you real quick was the documentation that Claude generated on a library that it mostly created on its own. I did some bug fixes. I did some, let's change this around to a style that I would use, to an approach that I would use. But still, there's a lot of it that I don't fully understand. So I do want to read through the docs as if I'm a consumer of this and find out what things are weird, what things I don't understand. Just to see how it did. Because, I mean, we do have a working data import utility library that I like. And there are things about this, like this Fluent API thing, that I would like to integrate, that I would like to start using. So by Fluent API, we're talking about creating some kind of field mapping with transformations that are chained together in code using some kind of Fluent API approach. So you know what that means. You've used Fluent API before in doing things like DB context setup, where you do this object dot this condition, or when you're doing what's the other one? Auto fixture. What's another one that has it? Auto mapper, I think, has it. Fluent validation has it. I think they all use this kind of Fluent API approach to where you're just chaining things at the end of each other. Yeah, it means another rough day for your dot key. But it's so complex, and there's a lot of reflection, and there's a lot of magic strings that I really don't like. Like map constant makes sense, but when you're trying to map a substring transformation as a chained transformation to do, so like here's one transformation that's happening, here's another transformation that's happening, and if you recall what that looks like is man, I'm a bit laggy, so hopefully I'm not lagging on stream. Like my picture and everything. Nothing at this address. Nuh-uh. Laggy, aggy, waggy, baggy. Did I say that right? Did I give you just do? Just did I do it okay? Chef's kiss. Where's the data import utility, dang it? What? Did I name it something weird or something? Huh? Look at how slow this thing is going. It's so weird. I am in the process. What? Oh my gosh, duh. It's on the automated ROMs GitHub. Okay, so if you recall, this library was a tool in order to be able to import a CSV or Excel workbook or any other delimited file type that has a structure where it's like, here's a row of headers, here is a bunch of rows of data. And we wanted to be able to transform the imported data. Oh no, we wanted to transform the imported data into some kind of C# class or set of C# classes. I will look at that in 20 seconds or so, Big Amy.
It's over 9,000.
I just want to pull in. I just want to pull in a file so that I can show what our current chain looks like. So I like this concept of Fluent API for creating these chains. And I'm trying to imagine what it would look like as a developer creating one of these with a UI that's kind of like this, where we have some kind of way where we're describing how exactly are we pulling in data from what source to what destination, and how are we transforming the data that's going from that source to that destination. And here we just kind of have this UI where you can chain a whole bunch of transformations one after the other. And these are all C# objects that implement a base class. And that's why it's like, here's my list of transformations to apply for this particular mapping. Do those. Yeah, and I've already thought of one way that would make this a little bit better, which is to completely get rid of this whole concept of a mapping type that you're choosing up front and instead just have a whole bunch of these chain transformations. That would work much better. So anyway, so when we're doing this though, like this interpolate is coming from an enum with a display name. I was going to say a short display name because I think that's what I'm using here, but maybe not. With a display name, and that enum is mapped to the concrete class. It can instantiate a new concrete class of that type. However, when we're looking at the docs for this, if we're using the Fluent API approach, we're using this magic string as the identifier for the actual transformation type. What I would prefer it had done is when it was setting up our, for example, the conditional, actually, let's go to the code for it. The conditional transformation. I think it's maybe in here. Yeah. Instead of this being just a property that's inherited from the base component, this is a static that we get on pretty much every single thing that inherits the base class that says this is a transformation. And that way we can use, instead of the string in this documentation here, instead of using the string name, we would do something more like substring transformation dot type ID. That kind of thing. Yeah, I think that would make much more sense to do. Okay, so hi Bindle. Let's take a quick look at the clip that Big Gamey made. I am sure it is a spot on hit that I didn't see because I was too busy talking about stuff. I need Firefox so we can hear sound. Yes, shout out to Big Gamey. He's not streaming today. I saw on his schedule that he has Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. And he'll be working on Rescue Ball, which is a Katamari Damacy clone. So if you know that game, you know that you roll around this ball and start picking up objects. The ball gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it eventually encompasses the world, and yeah, I won't spoil it. Things happen when you get that far. He will be playing it on his stream, I think he mentioned, if he hasn't already started. But right now he is doing a game inspired by that, which is you roll around, you pick up people as a ball, take them to a safe location, playing it soon. All right. Take them to a safe location, and you try to do this before the water rises because you don't want to get swallowed by the water. People can float, so they're still there, but I don't think you can float, is what the thing is. So you gotta be careful. You know, be safe. Online.com. You remember that? BeSafeOnline.com? Okay, anyway, here's a clip that Big Gamey made. Okay, so the ball cannot float. And the point is to try to stay out of the water when the water levels rise. When it's low, save as many people as you can. I can't float, but I can swim. Isn't that kind of... Everyone floats down. Anyway, clip. Wait. Oh, there it is. AutoMapper, I think, has it. Fluent Validation has it. I think they all use this kind of... How many points did that give you? API approach to where you're just chaining things at the end of each other. How many... You should have saved the response. So 51 points, and then you got an extra 24 points for it being in the air for 24 seconds or something like that. I don't remember how many points we give you per second, but that was a lot of bonus points. I need to increase the amount of bonus points you get for airtime, because that was super impressive. Holy cow. Well done, Big Gamey. You've managed to hit the bullseye on one of your previous attempts. Wait, the bullseye? Wait, all right. I mean, it does look like it hit directly in the middle, but that means that you would have gotten 100 plus the bonus points, and it's saying you got a max score of 75. It's really hard to tell. I just need to put the stats of what your yeah. Oh, if you want to create that for me, then please go ahead. But that was awesome. That was super cool, Big Gamey. Holy crap. Thank you for sharing that. Words that are frequently used in our profession, but infrequently used outside it. Actually, tough question for us, since so much of our terminology are abstractions and such, but a couple I can think of are concretion and tuple. Maybe crow's feet. Interface. Interface would probably be the one that comes to mind the most. I know it is used outside of our profession, but it is rare, in my opinion, based off of conversations. Like when you interface with a customer, not many people say that in business. So anyway, hi Hawkeye. I'm Tyndall, because Big Gamey said, just call me Hawkeye. Okay, so did I miss any chats up here? That was really cool though. That was really cool. Yeah, so 0% sales pitches from VS Live, 100% useful. That is also really cool to hear. That doesn't happen very often. Oh gosh. E delimited. Just escape S by doubling up S. That sounds scary. No, thank you. Thindo was saying, are we talking Marvel Hawkeye or Airwolf Hawkeye? Ooh, Airwolf Hawkeye. Absolutely. Wait, Hawkeye was Airwolf? Hawkeye was Airwolf. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen that. I'm getting it confused with A-Team. It's helicopters. I am not going to sing it. But yes, definitely have the theme song going through my head right now. Jan Michael Vincent, Airwolf. Edge. Cool. Thank you for letting me know that. I do have a grocery delivery coming, but I should be able to, for the most part, stay focused. Anyway, I am still thinking, now that I'm looking at this some more, I am still thinking of open sourcing this. I'm gonna say close to 100% Claude made. But what I really would like to do is understand the code, read through the entire docs, try to set this up in a new project as if I'm a consumer of this library, trying to use it, and only go by the docs for setting up the data import utility. Why do you still say lab data sample? That's annoying. But yeah, we'll get it figured out. It's just there's just a lot of cool ideas, but I don't like the execution because a lot of it requires you to use reflection and magic strings for identifying which transformation type, instead of something like enums. Hello, Mars. I also have a grocery delivery coming from the freezer to my belly. Nice. And hello, Master Rat. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Monday. Are you saying Claude? Like slang for a dumb person? Am I saying Claude? What word would have sounded like Claude? Yes, my hair fell out. Thank you for noticing. Claude code. Claude. So if you've never seen Claude, Claude is well, yes, kinda. Although Claude did pretty good. I am very, very impressed. I've gotten more comfortable with this, so I have far less reservation showing it on stream. As it freezes. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man. Anyway, you can see all of the sessions that it took. What took us 5 months to put together and make decisions on, Claude, and again, have not completely validated this repo, but Claude created in 5 days of conversations. And you can see we had a lot of conversation chains because the more context you give it in the project, the faster a conversation context limit gets reached, which is fine. But you can see that the last few things that we did were to update the API, the documentation for the API, which was really cool. And again, I am very, very impressed by how it did as far as putting together the library. And in fact, you know what? I'm just going to clone it. I'm going to close this window because it's not moving anywhere. I'm going to clone it to my machine since it's private at the moment. How do I do that? Does anyone know how to use GitHub? Oh gosh. Repos. Git. One lion. And we'll clone it here. Terminal. Do I still have it open? Is this it? This is it. If this is it, I told you I'm not gonna sing. Stop trying to make me sing. Terminal went where? Git clone pasta. Okay, well that's cloning. President Usher says, enter sarcastic comment about how good Claude is. Loading. Dukesoft is saying, Irish John Games will be taking part in the Twitch Celebration Irish Streamers event for St. Patrick's Day on the front page of Twitch. Today. What time? What time your time, Dukesoft? You don't have to convert for us. Get, I don't know, something about force? Yeah, use the force. How could that... Oh my gosh. Just add the comment to my tab of royalties owed to Disney. That's my snakes. Gosh. Oh, DC Aggie. Okay. There you are. Source, solution. I don't care which one you open up in. Just open somewhere. Okay, here is the library. So there was a lot of manual work on my part for setting up the project, for moving files where they should, updating namespaces, because I didn't like the structure that it created. So I was like, update your project structure to match my preferred. But yes, did I say thank you for the follow? I don't have the usernames showing for who follows. That way, if you just felt like following because you enjoy the content, but you don't want to be called out, then you are free to do that. But if you feel like it, you can introduce yourself and then we'll say hi and thank you directly. Otherwise, feel free to lurk. Thank you so much for your lurkage, your lurky energy. And I also did learn in 2 hours, you think? Okay. I also did learn some tips that do help with keeping Claude's context between conversations, because like I said, the context window will fill up pretty fast when you start adding a whole bunch of project files. But if you use the extended, I think it's a paid pro feature, but if you use the extended version of Claude and you have them use artifacts to keep up to date a project log with what is the most recent thing that we did and what are we doing next, that usually helps with not needing a large blurb when you start the conversation. You just say, read the project log and see where we're going. I like having the project structure in there so that it knows what our folder structure is, what files we have, as well as the architecture specification, the plan that we came up with up front, that we kept up to date with what we actually implemented and where and what it does. So having those 3 things specifically just kept it on task. And then anytime we had some large thing to do, then like the API documentation, for example, I had it make checkboxes so that we knew what all we've written the documentation for. That way, if we stop in the middle of one of these docs, because we've reached max length for a message, we can start a new conversation and it would just pick up from the things that have not yet been documented yet. Okay, so that said, I was opening this up to show. Oh yeah, this. Test Explorer. So not only did it create a library, but it generated a whole bunch of tests. Almost all of them failed. And so in the process, and this is what I really liked about it, in the process of identifying the failing tests and what was failing in them, I was learning the library. Until eventually we have 222 tests with first time build. I am extra Mexican today, says Napalm. Hi, Napalm. Eating leftover enchiladas for dinner. Mi gusto tacos mucho. Oh, man. Close enough. Okay, so we have 222 passing tests out of 222 tests. Are all of them valid tests? No. Are a lot of them? No. Are some of them? Yes. Out of those words, I understood tacos. But I mean, they are pretty cool. I think you didn't get wet. No, I don't like being wet. I know some of you are having fun right now, but I don't want to be wet right now. This is probably fun to you, but it's not fun for me. It was anyway. It's Spanglish. He was using Spanglish. Yeah. Okay, anyway, that said, all of these are done, and I don't like having them in the API. And the other thing that I wanted to update real quick was in the README, it's pointing to the wrong file for the index for the API. And that should be dot, oh my gosh, /docs API. And the name of this file is this, but because it's a URL, this. Okay. Yes, I am committing this directly to main because I don't care. Obviously, you guys know what my normal workflow is on personal projects. You know that I would create a branch for everything and do a pull request, but with this project specifically, I have not been doing that. I have been creating branches still, but I've been just merging it within Visual Studio to main. And this one was a document update, so I just committed directly to main. Okay, did that actually update? Question man. Yes, perfect. Okay, so that I just wanted to point out that it was pretty cool doing this. I'm not accepting what it's doing as something that I'm just going to push out into NuGet or something like that. I'm going to be reviewing it, and this is probably the thing that I want to at least take Fluent API from, like how it is doing the complex conditional logic. Bunny ears. It created this entire plugin service where you can, like, I don't know if you remember, but I have the way that I'm approaching it in the current library is to use a source generator, and you inherit from a class and it generates the rest of the code for you. It puts it into an enum. The problem is that the enum that gets generated is generated in the core library, as opposed to like a shared library, or yeah. I had other ideas of what we could do to fix it. I do have it open, right? No. So for example, you would reference the source generator project in your project, and it would generate pretty much the entire core library. That way, when you do create your own transformations, when you do create your own mappings, it updates the enum that's generated in your library, in your usage, in your project. Whew. All right, what did I miss? Spanglish was an awful movie. Was that the one with why can't I think of your name, dude? Oh my gosh. Adam Sandler. Good grief. I tell you, my memory. Thank you. Pseudo-Anish. If so, I kind of like that movie. Which, again, you're definitely allowed to not like it. You're not offending me by not liking it. Man, I still had the tab with the Airwolf open, and I heard the theme song playing again. I had that on Nintendo too. Oh, good times. Barbie was much better than no movie ever made, says Big Gamey. Napalm said to Big Gamey, I got a free ticket with a DVD purchase for Spanglish and wanted my money back. That's sad. I kind of enjoyed it. Thindo is saying randomness of all random. Some evil person poked me with that needle earlier today, and now my arm itches. I either remember Adam Sandler as funnier than he is, or he's become way less funny over the years. Personal opinion is personal. My personal opinion is I never found him to be very funny. I liked him in 50 First Dates. It was a little bit more of a serious kind of funny. And I liked him in Spanglish. Those are the only two I can remember liking his acting in. Personal opinion. Dugasov says, in 2 hours is correct. So in about 2 hours, see pinned message. Irish John will be on the front page of Twitch, starting off the actually, are they already started? Is he just one of the many? I'm rarely ever on the homepage of Twitch. I'm always on the following tab because distractions. Special events. So yes, the Irish Gamers special event is going on now. Irish game develop, well, Irish streamers, I think, is just what the deal is. I keep wanting to say what everyone else is saying. Irish game developers only. This is gonna be so cool. Really, really proud of John. So proud. Less distractions, more tractions. Absolutely. Protractions? Retractions? All right. I like Adam Sandler on Saturday Night Live, but other than that, I find him nearly unwatchable. Napalm says Billy Madison is the best. Downhill from there, in my honest opinion. He doesn't have to be funny anymore. He prints money. True. I think he's a bit like Ryan Reynolds. No matter what movie he's in, he's playing Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, I think so. But I think Adam Sandler has expanded his repertoire into different genres, or at least tried to. And Napalm says, oh, and what the hell happened to me? CD is hysterical. C, sex or weightlifting. Yeah, I didn't like his stand-up skits or musical parodies / comedy music. Yeah, I'm just not into that kind of comedy. And yeah, the albums were great. 12-year-old me was a big fan. Cool. And again, these are only my opinions. Just because I say that I didn't like him doesn't mean that he wasn't good at it. It just means I didn't appreciate it. Hasn't been funny since Happy Gilmore and peaked at Billy Madison. Speaking of comedians, I lost a bit of respect for Jim Carrey after his comments on Kick-Ass 2. I don't know what that is. Felt a bit like cash grab. Yeah. I don't know that drama. Or am I interested? Okay, so I thought we would have some fun today. At least I hope it's fun. And this is where I was trying to get at. The application that I really wanted to put this library in this UI for being able to import lab data lab data is the RTRAC application. However, last check, RTRAC is still deployed as a .NET Framework 4.8 or 4.7, I can't remember which one, MVC application. And when we looked at the solution last, we saw that we were starting to convert it over to Blazor. Already. However, I don't think I got very far. Like one thing that I think I tried to do, yeah, let's collapse everything. One thing I think I tried to do was take the original app and use the upgrade assistant tool. Thindle says, I started writing a long message about the drama, but then I gave up. Well, I mean, if you're interested in it, and you think that other people in this stream are interested in it, then feel free to post it. I'm not interested in it, so I probably won't be reading it. Yeah. I lost respect after he made Cable Guy. Again, another one that I've never really been a big fan of anyway. There's a creepy Jim Carrey video with him at an award show getting really inappropriate and disrespectful with a female actress. She was really uncomfortable. I lost a lot of respect after that. So yeah, lots of reason not to, lots of reasons for you to have your opinions on it. Gamey, why aren't you streaming? I mean, you don't have to. You have your schedule up. I have an open spot in my multi-stream, and I didn't know who to put there. Okay, but we're good to go. I have all 4. Don't tell me what I'm like. Are you telling me I have to stream so I can fill your spot? I mean, I wouldn't be angry at it, but I'm not telling you you have to. Yeah, I mean, and also, Napalm, even if it was Community Day, I would still try to shoot down this conversation line, or at least not continue on it. 1 hour, 45 minutes to Journage. DC Aggie says, Kung Pao Enter the Fista is written by and starring the guy who wrote, directed the second Ace Ventura film, and Kung Pao is fantastic. I think that's one that I liked. Was that the one where he used squirrels or something for nunchucks? Yeah, it's that one. Okay, so there is some types of comedy that I do find appealing, and that would be one of them. That one, and what's the other one? I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about, where it was essentially a parody on Crouching Tiger. Kung Fu Hustle. Was just joking. Sorry if I hit a nerve, maybe. I don't know what's up with me. I don't like people saying that I am doing something because of a negative, what I would consider a negative reason. That's the one with the block with the axe gang. I think so. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I think it's the one where he does the Buddhist palm thing. I drink tea. Do I? I do. Okay. That I don't know. Again, I don't really remember all that much. I just remember the scroll nunchucks. I did watch it. I watched Kung Fu Hustle a couple of times, and then there was a sequel to Kung Fu Hustle or something, or it was like Shaolin Soccer. I can't remember. But I enjoyed that one too. There's a palm thing in Kung Fu Hustle where he smashes the toad guy into the ground. Aha. So then yes. So now you know and remember. Okay, I'm going to try to make some progress on this, so I probably won't be reading chat for a minute. I want to find out what happened to the .NET Framework version of the application. Is it possible that I put it in a different solution? Is it possible that I removed it from this solution and didn't add it anywhere else? Things that make you go, what? Huh? Nandemonai. Source, RTRAC, original app. Yeah, so the original app is in its own solution. Okay, I think we tried doing this before, and I went, like, the tool that I used wasn't quite the same tool as what we're given now. So what I think I'm gonna try, well, let's take a look at main. That's the first thing that we're gonna do. Dev.azure. And we're looking at RTRAC. And I'm looking at repos. Branches. Now we got to be in the Git repo. This is TFS. For any of you that aren't familiar with TFS, it was a good time. It was a very good time. Actually, that's VSTS, but it's Team Foundation version control. So yeah, anyway, it was a good time. Many fond memories. So many fond memories. Oh my gosh, I need to use it again. What's up with this? Why is main only the Blazor version? When did I do that? Well, that's not good. TFSVC. Basically subversion. When did I get rid of the original application? Probably here, current progress. Nope, we were Blazor before that. Still Blazor. Oh my gosh, how long ago did I try converting this app to Blazor? 2022. Oh man. Yeah, and here's the original. Wait, no. 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 I was going to say, here's the original project. That would have been the commit message I used to import the original project. I don't know. Okay, I guess I let enough chat go through. Thindle says, I haven't seen Kung Pao enter the fist in like 15 years and I still remember it. That must be praise. And Kung Pao is like a bi-yearly thing because it's so awesomely dumb. TFS I did say it correctly. Basically subversion. So easy. So easy. And then DC Aggie was saying, today we must keep our code in this source control so we don't lose historical code. So you could just move it over to Git and keep that repo if you're using DevOps, because that's what I did. And it works just fine. I still have all of the commit history from all of those. But we really do not need the commit history. We're not in the position that you are, I don't think. Then Thindle said Subversion TFSVC was better than Git because it was so easy to use. It was way worse because it sucked. As soon as you started doing branches, as soon as multiple people were working on the same project, in my opinion, like it was not great with that. There were so many conflicts. And then DC Aggie said, future, we can't access that code. It's locked behind a source control no one has used in like 5 years. I think I told you, but the original Java code was SVN as well. This stuff. But I couldn't get access to it, and I couldn't get into the repo. And so what I ended up doing was taking all of the jar files that were deployed and then unjarring them and creating the repos out of that. Because all I needed was just access to the code. I didn't need to be able to redeploy, although I had to fix and redeploy some JSP stuff in the process. But point is, yeah. Ugh. Same project suck because, again, branching. And you have to do your diffs 100% manually, which I think you technically need to do with Git too. Don't quote me. Yeah, the diffs definitely worked for me in VSTS. Perforce, no thanks. I did try it. I didn't like it. Definitely not clicking on the link. Like if someone handed you a Perforce repo backup, could you make use of it? Not me. I did try it with the Unity project. And I still have my Perforce server set up. I mean, it was very recent. It was like a few months ago. So I know how to use Perforce now, but I wouldn't want to. Not in a real project. I did not like that experience. Okay, after these messages, I'm gonna get back to work. When I started at my first consultancy job, they used a network share. I introduced them to SVN. Some of them hated it. Why can't I just save the file as before? Yeah. And it's like people that don't want to change the existing processes because they were easier. Dude, you're getting paid $150 an hour. You can be ours to do a commit. Serially. Yeah, there was a lot of the why can't we just do it the way we were doing it before at my previous employer. And that was just Bubkiss. So it was just Bubkiss. Okay, redeems commit. I have nothing to commit, so your redemption has been honored. So what we're gonna do, I think, is we're going to copy this solution over into a new folder and try running the upgrade assistant on it. See how far that gets us into .NET 9. Where is this? This is in RMAGIT. RTRAC. Source. RTRAC. Original app. Copying it over now. While that's copying, I guess I'll read some more chat. Thindle says, oh right, no backups on the old network share and no RAID, just a normal off-the-shelf consumer hard drive. They liked living dangerously. And with that, the project is copied over. I will name the folder original app for upgrade. And again, it looks like I've gotten really far. Please tell me you're going to open in Enterprise. No. Okay, it looks like I've gotten pretty far in converting it over to Blazor. I'm starting to remember some of the work that we've already done on it to get it over to Blazor. But I'm just interested to know if we can get the majority of the code converted to .NET Core, aka .NET 9. So we're going to use the upgrade assistant in the IDE. We're going to do a convert selected packages, convert project to SDK style. So yeah, we're going to do this whole thing. We're going to do an existing project of a supported type. Why can't I click next? A new project will be created from specified template and associated with current okay, my bad. Upgrade target. This is kind of confusing because the upgrade target is the .NET Framework version. But I think what this means is where would you like the upgraded project to go? And we're going to create a new project. Sure, that works. And yes, we want ASP.NET Core MVC. Fine. We're going to go to 11. Add YARP? Why do... I mean, is this just normal Kestrel? Is that what it's doing? Is I don't need YARP. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just need the code. So do the thing. Okay, while it's doing the thing, DC Aggie said, code share crashed and burned. Congrats, we're now Greenfield. That would be nice. And also suck, but also be cool. And then we could be like, hey, let's use source control. Dukasoft says, my workplace can lose 2 drives and still be going. Might be too much, but I don't like the anxiety of losing 1 drive. Thindle said, I was 100% certain that the new async await stuff was in .NET 9, but apparently it's planned-ish for .NET 10. I was disappointed. New async await is going to remove the state machine and move the whole implementation into assembly. Yeah, I think we talked about that on Wednesday. Didn't you actually bring it up on Wednesday? With just a single IL call instead of like 80 instructions for every single wait. DC Aggie says, modern.NET is being iterated and improved quickly, which is nice, but on the other hand, it feels like even numbers have support for less time than many of my projects take to complete, and the odds may as well be previews. That was hard to parse. I feel like even numbers have support for less time than many of my projects take to complete. Even numbers. Oh my gosh. I agree with you. And I think Thindle is also agreeing with you. So if I can reword this so that my brain can catch up, I think DC Aggie was saying that between LTS, I think even numbers are LTS, right? Or are odd numbers LTS? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Between the two release cycle, the two version number release cycle, they are still going faster than our projects take to complete. So in the middle of us still working on our project with unreleased features, a new version is out. And so we need to upgrade. Even is, thank goodness. So yes, even is LTS. I can never remember. But Thindle said, or actually Dukesoft said, oh wait, net 10, true. That returns true. It returns long-running tasks that's going to time out before it gets to finish. Thindle then said to DC Aggie, I feel you. .NET Framework is still in support. Net 6 from 3 years ago isn't, I think, or Net 7. One of those, or both. Then Thindle said to Dukesoft, I'm okay with OneDrive if you have good notifications. Having a RAID 6 to parity drives is better, and a hot spare or 2 is even better. Then he said, maybe. I talked about it on my stream. Oh, maybe that's what it was. And then Snobble told me I was wrong, so maybe it was Snobble that brought it up. I checked. Even our LTS, 10 is LTS, I believe. Still long-term support is 3 years. .NET 6 went out support November last year. .NET 7 went out of support in Mayo. Okay, so we have a converted set of set of objects, classes, stuff. Is it just me or is something missing? Oh, that's what it's using YARP for. I should have seen this. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the in-place upgrade that it did was it took the existing solution, existing project that I was targeting, and it put a .NET Core MVC application on top of it. And that .NET Core MVC application will spin up or point to the running .NET Framework version of the application. It's not quite what I was trying to do. Wait. So now we can do individual things? Okay, let's update controllers. Only we have to do these one at a time. And you just do the whole damn project. Okay, back to chat while this thing fails. Okay, well, this thing keeps doing what it's doing. Reg says to Thindle, I have the original install disks for Visual Studio Source, or for Visual Source Safe for VSS 6.0. Thindle said to Reg, nice, got me beat. I do have the floppies for MS-DOS 6.22 and Windows 3, but those aren't programming related. They kind of are. We can stretch anything to be programming related. Then Reg says we use it for source control for VBA modules in Microsoft Access. Dindle said, I have a book on game programming that an old colleague of Grumpy's wrote back in 1997. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this one by one then. That's kind of what it's looking to me like I should be doing. Why is it sudden? You're so confusing, little tool. So confusing. And then Thindle goes on to list everything else. Don't care about out of support. I wish it kept track of all of the files that it's finishing up. Okay, Camas. Because like if I go to controllers, it's still showing me the full list of controllers, even if it looks like things have been upgraded already. It's like if we go into Watermon, which I hadn't selected yet, it's here. But it's not doing a real upgrade. Because session doesn't exist in controllers anymore. And shouldn't this be controller? No, full controller because it has views. But session exists on HTTP context, if I remember correctly. So we would need to get JTTP context. HTTP con. Oh my goodness, cannot type. No, current. No, not current. Oh, I don't remember. Request. Yeah, I don't remember. Is this even worthwhile? What I'm hoping at least happened is that the majority of the code. No. The majority of the code was upgraded as far as the new methods to be using for each package. Like, I don't know, maybe this does work, maybe it doesn't. Anyway, what we're gonna do though is go back to the Blazor version and just find out what we got. Okay, Dendel says I'm gonna stop talking random. I need to do some stuff to get some stuff done too. And Dukesoft says, oh, not just me. Just can't kick my own behind hard enough. Dindle says to Dukesoft, I'm way behind on my customer project, but my brain isn't cooperating at the moment, so trying to force my way through my coding block. I'm sending you some concentration energy, Dindle. Feel free to accept it if you want. There is no requirement for you to. Dukesoft says, I'm not way behind, but I do feel like I'm behind enough for it to stress me. That's kind of how I feel about, man. That's kind of how I feel about all of the stuff that I do all the time lately. Spinach and arugula. Maybe we can pick out the arugula. I don't like arugula. It's too bitter for me. What's your, oh my god, I gotta do this or my boss is gonna kick me in the shin. Right now it's getting RTRAC converted over so that I can pull the data import utility into it. And also getting the STRAC thing done. Aruga! La. I only know that from Big Gaming Stream. I really don't know what it's from or what they actually say. I'm pretty sure it's the little yellow orange things with one eye. Maybe they have two eyes. I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna create a new project in here. New solution folder. Yeah, I said arugula because they are replacing our baby spinach that we asked for that has a replacement of a larger size baby spinach if they were out of that one. And they are replacing it with a baby spinach and arugula mix, which is nowhere on our list of if they're out of this, replace it with this. But I don't want to have to explain to the shopper if it's not on my list, then don't actually get it. I don't feel like doing that right now. Blazor web app. Okay, so we're going to create a new Blazor web app application, new project. We're going to make it a .NET 9. I have not been making .NET 9 projects for my upgrades, but it should be all of the libraries that I have been upgrading and updating should be compatible with it, or it should be compatible with it. You know what I mean. This is going to be RTRAC. I really don't want to call it Net 9. Whatever. Individual accounts. Auto. Wait, don't use top level statements? Yes, use top level statements. Oh. I don't know which one is usually clicked. I can't remember. Napalm is asking Tyndall, how's the MVP life? Tyndall was asking Big Gamey, are you self-employed? I'm reading these backwards because Big Gamey said to Tyndall, stop sleeping with the boss's wife. Has to be up there. Small print. I am not suggesting the streamer would ever do this. I kind of am. And Anna, thank you so much for the raid. I was lurking on your stream watching you work away at your own Blazor stuff. I hope you've been having fun with it. And Thindle came in with the raid too. Hello, Thindle. Wait, I already said hello to you. Tricky Lady's here as well. Thindle was responding to Napalm saying, doing okay, failing horribly at customer project, but I'll get her done. Went through some of the nice offers you get and found an App Insights alternative that might be a good idea. Tricky Lady says, it's a ducky raid. Treat us like your personal Woboducks. Woboduckies. Thindle said, going to try to integrate it in a stream soon. Cool. Maybe if you start streaming soon, we'll just raid over to you and I can end my stream. Thindle said to Napalm, how are you? Duke South was welcoming the duckies with the Anna raid. If you guys don't know Anna Sastev, she is a fantastic developer in all arenas of knowledge and technology because she's amazing. She does as much stuff as she can on her own. She likes to build stuff up from scratch, from what I can tell. A little bit of a masochist, maybe. And that is there. And then Thindle says, I'm in all the places, but I don't think the ducky knew I was there. Yeah, she didn't know I was there either. Oh my gosh, everything is getting replaced. Bad idea. And it says, I'm too early for John's stream, so I hope I can at least deliver some duckies after. Yeah, definitely. Tricky Lady says, did you see Anna's new hair? I saw it. I saw it. I liked it. Sexy, sexy. DC Aggie is saying MVP is model view presenter. I use that with my web forms. The pattern is good, but if web forms had better data binding, it would be nicer. Most valuable professional. Anyway, it's a Microsoft honorific. It's a status that it's a program. It's a program from Microsoft that recognizes talented members of their community. People who are active, people who blog, people who give talks, who spread information, who kind of evangelize Microsoft products and the use of. Then Napalm said to Thindle, counting days to Hawaii. Tricky Lady said, sexy, sexy. Thindle says to Napalm, when are you going to Hawaii? And it says, we worked on our Blazor server and I fixed a lot of stuff, figured out decent token storage on the client. So what I'm doing now, by the way, is I am creating a brand new Blazor web app to upgrade a .NET Framework 4.7.2 MVC application. And I've already done a lot of work on it before, but it's been about 2 to 3 years since I last touched it. And we're just now getting back to it so that we can do the actual .NET upgrade to .NET 9. And I'm choosing .NET 9 just because. And then Anna said, me, a masochist? No. Well, I don't know how long to hold out that well, I don't know what you mean. Thindle said to Anna, tokens, as in auth, I feel you. And then, yeah, Anna said, I didn't know you were there. Thindle. Tricky Lady says, pictures or it didn't happen. True. True. I have commit history. Does that count? Oh, wait, this was, this was a message to Dukasoff. Dukasoff was like, thanks, I've been working out, after she said sexy, sexy. Thindle said, yeah, I worked in an MVP WPF application. It was terrible. And there it is, the beefed up duck. Thindle says, not MVP as in valuable professional, but the other one. Oh, so he was actually asking you about MVP. Wait, I thought that Napalm was asking you about being a Microsoft most valuable professional. And I know that DC Aggie was talking about the model view presenter. And I was responding to DC Aggie. Anyway, Anna says to Thindle, who said to Anna, I lost the train of this conversation. So I'm just going to read this. It is hell, all because I want a WASM client that can do a lot on its own and use my own permission to lock down an API. Yes, I have found it to be not as difficult to implement with the new Blazor web app template, personally. But that's because I'm not doing anything like super out there. I don't expect you to hang about to see it, but if you do have the time, I'm about to get to that once I catch up on chat, because I'm for those of you that don't know, I am actually working on my day job, so I'm getting paid for my time working on these projects. So I try to do as much client work as I can on stream. The main reason that I stream is because I do want to be able to talk with other developers and share in the camaraderie of it. However, I do need to buckle down and focus on the task at hand and get stuff done. Otherwise, I probably just need to not stream anymore, because I start feeling bad for not actually doing client work during this time. But Anna said, shh, I'm not sexy with my new haircut. Yeah, you are. No takesy backsies, says Tricky Lady to Dukasoft. Before and after. Ooh. To be a Microsoft MVP, you gotta use Visual Studio, right? Not necessarily. Big Amy says to Anna, methinks she doth protest too much. Agreed. Vendel said to Anna, honestly, the authorized standard thing is painful too, because I'm doing 100% the same thing, and I failed for 2 streams in a row. And then Thindle said, currently need to do some off-stream testing and playing around, but when I'm not streaming, I'm pretty much working at the moment. Oh, yeah, okay. Then Anna said to BitGamey, shh. I don't know how long to hold out the shh. I can barely handle the fact that I looked in the mirror and my brain said, look, a girl. Nice. If you want, you can look at the mess I made. The repo for Infinilore is open. I have it cloned on my machine, actually, from when we were playing around with the cake build stuff. Oh, but you were saying that to Thindle. Yeah, it's really cool. It's definitely really cool. And here's the link. Napalm says, I was talking about MVP. And then, but I think we went into, yes, and I understood that. Big Amy then said, for anyone that wants to use sound alerts, the streamer's fave is yeah. And we're about 2 minutes away from ending the stream. I was waiting for it. Thank you so much for your bits, Big Amy. And I'm using Auth0, shooting myself in the foot even more. I don't have the time, need to run to classes. Yeah, I thought so. So enjoy your classes, have fun. Dukasoft says, wait, you get paid for working? I do. And I also have this thing called integrity. I was trying to do my own custom and then even more Auth0 later. I'm very, very much considering ignoring rolling custom and just going straight to Auth0. I honestly don't understand the need for a custom authentication system that is different than what is scaffolded with the new Blazor web app projects, but that's because I don't have a distributed system. I don't have a whole bunch of the additional technologies that a lot of you use. Dukasoft did post some before and after, or actually the before image for you, Tricky Lady, if you're interested in seeing some hot duck, a soft ducka. So I can I can get some help from their DevRel team if I do Auth0 and do it on stream. Anna says, yeah, that's what I'm but what I am doing is making a small wrapper library against a management API for Auth0 so I can do roles and permission management code first, which makes everything worse. Thindle said Daniel Sternberg, curl, is an MVP and he's using Vim. This was indeed me before HRT. Blue feet, hair everywhere. Haircut? Is that what HRT is? I don't know. Y'all youngins and your acronyms and your lingo. I'm old. And then there's the after picture. All right. Napalm says, so again, I'm going to do my best to catch up, but if I don't get far enough in like another minute, I'm just going to need to get back to work. Why do something custom? Masochism, obviously. I forgot to. Oh, hormone replacement therapy. I'm so good at this. Thindle says, my need for it is that I have one from earlier and it'd be easy to reuse those accounts and then deal with new and old auth next to each other. Perfect sense. Stone Eagle says, abandoned again. Can you believe this? Napalm said, auth 0, Azure Active Directory, etc. are a square peg that doesn't always fit a round hole. Log in with old account. Oh, we've changed systems. Enter your stuff here and then connect them. Then facepalm. Anna says, I streamed for nearly 6 hours. Abandoned my duck. Yeah. Anyway, it's a common word with trans people. I'll get used to it one day. I probably won't remember, but I don't remember most acronyms, so I have to ask every time. Okay. So here's what I mean though. So like when I went from the framework app, actually we can show this. When I went from the framework app, I used Entity Framework to do all of my auth stuff there too. This is the new one. I can't show too much of this because I just can't, like web config, for example. But the way that this handled auth is this account controller here, which was pretty straightforward. I'm already using this kind of identity DB context type of thing that was back in .NET Framework. So it made logical sense for me when I upgraded this, when I upgrade the other applications to Blazor, to just use whatever was built in because that used the same type of identity context. And back in the first upgrades, it was identity server, which was really annoying in the long run. So that configured identity server, and it depended on whether you're on Wasm hosted or on Blazor server, the way that I did my identity stuff. Then in .NET 7, I think is when it started, with the new Blazor web app template, it became a lot easier. Did I move the wrong one over here? No. What happened to Monday? So confused. So with this one, it is much more simple. There is, well, I guess simple. There are a few things that needed to be updated in order to get roles to work, but when it came to configuring the user, application user to support things like a given name or updating the roles, where even is this anymore? Like in .NET 9, it moved also. And that's another gripe that a lot of us do have, is constantly moving things around between releases. And it's like, can we get a stable pattern before you even release the first? No, because we're going to get a whole bunch of input and then make changes based off of that input. Okay, makes sense. Fine, sure, whatever. But I think everything got moved into... right, we were looking at this on TBD stream, but everything got moved into server only as far as the revalidating authentication, this thingy. This is what I was looking for. And don't you have like user info? Yeah, they removed that too. So now I would have to learn this one also. Great. Good job changing that. Not happy about that change. Gosh, but you'll see what I'm using in mine, at least. The reason that I wanted to go ahead and scaffold this with the identity stuff, even though I have a separate library that handles all of my identity for the Blazor .NET 8 and up applications, is so that I could just have my program CS where I needed it to be, which I don't even need that anymore. Most of this is getting stripped out. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, so I'm going to use the same user secrets file. The easiest way to do that is just to copy over the one that's already in use from my other server project. Anna's going to class though. Enjoy. Enjoy. Do your best. Get 100 on your test. Gilgamesh says, I don't like Blazor because I don't understand it. Totally okay. Don't abandon your ducks. That's evil. But it's cool. I'm eating eyelashes or something. We got a duck fact. Ducks can swim when it's cold out because the blood vessels in their feet are close together, preventing heat loss. Thank you for that tidbit. Okay. The other one that I'm going to have open is, what did we recently add this to? RMA chain of custody, if I recall correctly. No, water management. I added this to water management. So I'm going to have the water management Blazor app open that I converted from VB WinForms, VB.NET WinForms. Ooh, ooh. There's another friend that went live. That's fun. Okay, great. Lurk, lurk, lurk. Everyone has volume. Good to go. Good to go. Awesome. That's RTRAC. Right click. Water management. I don't see it. Does anyone see water management? I don't see water management. Okay, hopefully this is going to be as easy as getting the latest main. Which I think I've already merged into that branch, but just in case I'm going to go to main to do this. SiriBot does actually use Icon has dad jokes, so that's why the bot jokes are similar. Yeah, but it's like, how do they end up being like on the same topic? Does the Icon has dad jokes like have a category that's, or maybe it like sends the next joke to the next requester and then it moves to the next joke for the next requester? And since you have 2 requests in a row, you get 2 jokes that are close together in the list of jokes that it would send. I don't know. I would have assumed that it just does random through all categories and such. Okay. Pages. Okay, how do we set this up? This is the other thing that's been weird. This happened to about 3 of my projects where the DLLs are showing up in the solution folder. And even if I delete them, they still come back. And if I remove them from the CS proj, they still come back. But they aren't in the source folder, in the solution folder. Or I'm sorry, project folder. It's very, very odd. I don't get it. Like, I don't know how many times yeah, it's not even in here. It's not in here. Why did you reorder. I'm not going to change that. Okay. So this is essentially the thing that I want from here. Actually, there's a few things, but this is one of the main things that I want from here, which is how I add identity services, which has all of the UI. It has all of the objects that I need in order to interact with my identity store. The other thing that I want is the actual NuGet package references. So we're going to do that. So this one's going to get the NuGet package reference for the server. Manage NuGet packages, manage NuGet packages. I am starting to go blind. And I don't know if I can keep going. And server. I'm starting to experiment with Blazor, says DC Aggie server, as an option to move out of web forms. And one of the first things I need to figure out is how I can use CAS for SSO. I don't know what CAS is. I will be looking into SSO for all of the RMITS applications because it's all the same identity store. It's just you need certain permissions to access certain apps. And I do the permissions check when you go into the application and I say, you do not have access to this application, request it if you need it. So if I could just do a single sign-on and you go to the application URL that you're wanting to access, then it can tell you at that point in time whether you have access to it or not. Okay. And client. Manage NuGet packages. Blazor off. So again, for anyone that is wondering about this Blazor auth package, it really is just the stuff that we saw get scaffolded. Well, the .NET 8 version of the stuff that gets scaffolded when you create a new Blazor web app project with individual identity or individual accounts, where it's at least using a backend server to do all of your identity stuff. And I took all of the auth related stuff, put it in its own library, because again, it's standard across all of the applications. And so I have the server side identity stuff that gets set up, and then the client side identity stuff that gets set up. And yeah, here it is again. It has something to do with the way that I am including those. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this happened just because I added these NuGet references or if they happened at a different time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't quit asking. Okay, so we're going to update program.cs for the server so that we can add identity. So everything that has to do with identity that's currently set up is going away, including the DB context connections, because those are going to be set up in the extension methods for my Blazor auth library, including the email sender. Wow, it's pretty much everything. Why did I want to have it set up individual accounts for me? Because That's a great reason. Builder.services. And then I can paste this in, which has been in my clipboard this whole time. I'm thankful that I didn't copy anything else into my clipboard. And I really don't like that when you copy and you have preprocessor directives or whatever you call these, it cuts off the first 4 characters because it thinks that they're spaces. It's so weird. I don't have application globals yet. I need to add application globals to where it belongs. I just need to figure out where it belongs. And the name of the application is RTRAC laser. And our role prefix will be defined in there. Okay, so that's going to be our first setup for identity. Our second setup for identity is going to be the pages, making sure that we have the pages routable for the login. And we're going to do that here. Comma. Type of armits blazer auth client imports. Nope, server. You get so used to all of your components being on the client, but with identity, they are on the server. And it doesn't matter what I use. I'm going to choose imports. Got assembly. I'm like, why isn't this working? Okay. Was there another thing that needed to get set up? I was trying to remember off the top of my head, but I have to look because I can't remember. Oh, right. Maybe. Oh. Okay, so I still have all of the actual setup. Why? Why do I have all of the actual setup here in program.cs, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense? And I need a reference to my identity store. That would be helpful. And that is called ASP.NET Core Identity Database. This one. And client gets mottos. No. I don't know why I'm doing this one project at a time when I normally use the manage NuGet packages for the solution window. So that I can do multiple projects at the same time, but I'm being stubborn. Okay, so these two are essentially the application DB context and any customizations on the application user object that we associate with the DB context, that we associate with the identity, I guess. So again, because I reuse these across multiple applications, I put them in a separate NuGet package in a library. And my brains. Okay, this application user should be coming from ASP.NET Core Identity Models. And what else is missing? All right, so I need to grab the application globals object. I don't remember if I'm still inheriting from iApplication globals for application globals, or if it is only a static class. And this will tell us. It is only a static class, and where did I put it? Salad in shared. Oh, great. So you're going to have your own hierarchy too. Oh, this is going to be a little difficult because I'm kind of recreating this entire structure again in the same solution. Original conversion. And the only reason that I want to keep all of the original conversion stuff is because I have done quite a bit of work on moving .NET Framework code over to .NET Core. And also started on some work on the redesign of RTRAC. Because right now, RTRAC looks like this. Isn't it so pretty? You got to show up on screen though. You got to actually load. Isn't it so pretty? Welcome to the 90s. If you've never existed in the 90s, well, now's your chance. Oh. Everything is an image. There's very little text for any of these header type things. Image. This background is chef's kiss. Record check. Let's do it. Let's do a records check on this. Do a records check on this. Yes. Perfect. Errored. Beautiful UI. It's so pristine. It's like, who would ever want anything more than this? I mean, isn't it just Dukasoft has the record. That's where it went. Please don't break it. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the solution window.
It's over 9,000.
It is. It is. Oh my goodness, it is. So yes, a lot of that stuff has been changed over in these projects. Yeah, and right now what I'm doing is I'm organizing it in the app, so this doesn't change the folder structure or anything, which means that everything is kind of at that top solution level folder. So if I'm going to create a new shared library, then I kind of want it to match this naming, which is just going to be dots after dots. Who was it that was saying the dot is going to be abused? Shared class. How in the world did that happen? My finger was nowhere near a 3. How dare. DC Aggie is saying Safari opening new tabs on Command N makes me furious. Safari makes me furious, says Dukesoft. It was DC Aggie. Dot walking. We're dot walking, y'all. Yeah. This is something that TBD Gamer tries to keep under control. Is the naming of the projects, because it's like the name of this application, of this entire solution, is RTRAC Blazor. Do I need to keep repeating RTRAC Blazor for every single namespace or every single project folder? Namespaces are fine. You can do whatever you want with namespaces. But for every single project that gets added, do I need to keep repeating RTRAC Blazor dot net9 in this case is what I'm going to be doing? Probably not. In fact, I would start to say that I want to get away from that habit. But because I'm still addicted, I'm going to do it now. RTRAC Blazor net9 shared. Master Writer saying, yeah, it's tedious, but how often do you add projects? After the initial set, not often. I do my structure and then it's set pretty much. I mean, I haven't had an issue with it, but it does just kind of like, it doesn't make sense to keep repeating this. But at the same time, if I don't repeat it, I would still want my default namespace to have the full, so I would need, is that a property group? I'm pretty sure it's a property group. Default namespace, no.
We don't need to print the internet.
No, we don't. You're so right. Maybe it's an item group. I could have sworn there was a default namespace. Root namespace, right? Oh my goodness, I can't anything. Project group. So regardless, I would want the root namespace or the default namespace or whatever the property is that gets set to be the name of the path out to my library. Yeah, and that one, like that naming convention, I'm personally not a fan of, mostly because I'm used to .NET's Pascal casing of stuff. I used to be a Java developer. Keep that in mind. So I did used to use the com dot whatever, and everything is lowercase package names. And I ended up preferring namespaces that have Pascal case. Okay, this is in general. General. Application globals. And we'll get our static. And we need app role in here too, which is going to be an enum. Ooh. Cake. By the ocean, maybe? No, definitely not that. Everything that says Waterman will say RTRAC. 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 Yeah, it's kind of odd that I'm using, why would I do that? Application globals dot there. That was very weird. You're going to be RTRAC laser at 9 pages image. Not that I really ever use those anyway. Hello, Full Snavel. Comment allez-vous? Mixing languages. So yeah, space authorized roles is going to be RTRAC user. It means that you must at minimum be an RTRAC user to access this application. I need to see what roles are available for this application. So I'm going to go into my user management place that tells me all of the roles that are available. How many are you? Just one at the moment. The rest of me are taking a break from this physical realm. If you can tell, it's kind of a rough day for me. Again, I'm trying my best to not be snappy. I'm struggling a bit. Hopefully I'm still treating you with respect. And I apologize if I'm not. Call me out on it. Hello, smirking squiggly. I love it. Okay, RTRAC has not very many roles. RTRAC has final. Oh, geez. General, intermediate, map. And I am using the same casing. So even though we typically would use Pascal case for enum members, I'm just using the same casing as what the roles appear as in our system. Preliminary and user, obviously. And user is the default role, so that belongs at the top. All right, fun times. So that's done. So back to our configuration, we now have our application globals. So in our app, program.cs for the server, we can tell this to use, oh, we need a reference. I should just build my project structure first because I don't put a direct reference from shared to any of these. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create the shared client and shared server. So shared by itself is intended to be POCOs. It's intended to be abstractions, so interfaces and global enums, static classes, utilities, stuff like that. Then I have a client side shared library. So if I have multiple clients, so for example, let's say I have the Blazor application. That's my first client side application, the thing that gets shipped to the browser. Or I could have a Maui application that gives us cross-platform support. So that same client project, shared client project, would be used for the Maui application as well. And then for server side, same deal. I typically only have one server side implementation, which is just an API project. Or it's what gets shipped, or not shipped, scaffolded with the Blazor web app template. But you get the point, right? You get the point. RTRAC Blazor.net 9. So how's it going, Squiggly? How is your day going so far? Do I do shared client or client shared? I think I do shared client. Shared client. Dukasoft goes wavy, wavy. Did I even answer your question, DC Aggie, or did I take it out of context? Did I take it somewhere that you weren't intending? And if so, did it enjoy the ride? Add. New project. Shared server. Okay, and then I have a component library. Pretty good, thanks, says Squiggly. Add. I'm just going to call this UI because lazy. I always enjoy the ride here. Takes Dramamine. At least you're not taking tryptamine or lorazepam. Oh, wait. Wait, what? What did I miss? Oh, the dad jokes. I'll get to those here in a second. Oh, and Thindo was talking about this too not too long ago. The whole renaming things in Visual Studio where Windows doesn't care about case sensitivity. It's like lowercase I in UI is exactly the same folder as U with a capital I. So when you rename things, you kind of have to do a backflip and close your eyes while jumping through a ring of fire. No, this is a Razor class library for our Blazor components. And that I usually call .components, I think. RTRAC Blazor 9 components. Let me just see what I did for water management because I like to be consistent. I called it pages. I called it pages because it makes sense because this is where all of my routable pages are going. We are not supporting Razor pages and views. These are only going to be Blazor components. Okay, so with this, I can now set up my reference structure. The pages needs access to shared. The client needs access to shared, and server needs access to shared. This is correct. I was like, why does this feel wrong? It is not wrong. It is correct. Client needs access to pages. Client needs access to shared client. Server needs access to shared server. Everything else is going to be transitive. Right? Something feels off. I think we're good. I think it's fine. That's how we're going with it. Okay, so now when we go back to program CS, we have access to application globals because of the transitive dependency from client and pages. Perfect. We did it. So that means that I need to move app. Let's move app and imports into our component library. You are probably going to have a reference to client, which you don't need, and base namespace, which you don't need. Authorization, you are not components, you are pages, which you don't need. Authorization comes from the WebAssembly package. This is so weird though. I don't really understand how to get around this. But there is this dependency on WebAssembly.server that if I'm going to have the UI in my shared component library, I need to have the reference to that package here. I don't know how to get around that. Maybe it's normal. Maybe it's not something I need to worry about. Come on, you can resolve. Thank you. Okay, what else do I need in there? I need the layouts, but I need specifically the client layout and the home page. Okay, so we're gonna grab layout and we're gonna grab home. Oh, and redirect to login and routes. Yeah? Okay. How am I going this route? Why am I going that route? Pages / like I said, easy. You just, scaffold your .NET 9 web application and move things around and you're done. You don't have to know what you're doing. You just kind of do it. Okay, we need to update some imports. And I want everything to have access to RTRAC Blazor 9 pages layout. Do I need everything to have access to layout? I don't need everything to have access to layout. Just routes. Oh, which it explicitly does target it, so we don't actually. Our initial assembly is going to be imports.assembly, and we're going to need to add additional assemblies. No, we don't. Oh man. I don't think we do because I think the redirect to login route equals out, and route does not equal root. But it could. It could. I just could be a weirdo. I don't remember whether I need to, you know what, why do I have to guess? I was like, I don't remember whether I need to include the additional assemblies directly for the shared account pages, which I wouldn't need to. Yeah, I need to look at it. Hey, components. No. You don't have root. Did you hear me say it? I said it quietly, just so I wouldn't offend you. Where is this? Oh, this is in pages. Perfect. Yeah, so I don't need the additional assembly. So normally, if you want to make sure that you're able to route two pages that are defined in a separate project or in a separate library, you would want to add them as additional assemblies. And the login page, even though it is in a separate library, we aren't using this routes to get to it. So we should be fine, I hope. If not, I'm gonna cry. You're gonna see a grown man crying on stream. I mean, you might see that anyway. Okay, so we have routes. We're using a default layout of main layout. We are farmers. Dun, 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 dun. We're setting up program.cs still. So I added the identity stuff. We're going to verify whether I need to add this stuff because I'm pretty sure that's what this does. It adds the identity accessor, the identity redirect manager, authentication state provider. That is only setting up the DB context. Nope, it's not. Okay, so I do need that in there. This to-do is still true. I need to move this into the identity, the auth library. What are you angry at? App doesn't exist. App does too exist. Wait, why are you in components? Why is your namespace components? You know what I'm gonna say. I'll let you say it in your head. Okay, now I'll say it. Why is your namespace components, dear server madman? You are incorrect. Is it because I haven't been moving app? I have not been moving app. You know what? I'm going to be safe for myself for now, and I'm going to keep app in the server project. And it would have been in the components. Oh, which it's already there. Okay, so I still ended up adding a reference to app.razor from components into program.cs. Okay, and then there is this map additional identity endpoints. Did I replace that with this new one? Yeah, why are you angry? Call is ambiguous between. Why is it suddenly ambiguous between those? Let's do this. Let's get rid of everything. I need to figure out where those are coming from because they're no longer coming from up here. Let's get rid of some of these things that aren't being used. In fact, that's what I was in the middle of doing. One of those things is, yeah, the only thing that we're keeping from here is error, which is actually in this folder. Oh, I'm confusing myself so bad. President Usher says, if I say routing, it's the former, but if I say route 90, it's the latter. Did I represent you correctly? None of these. None of these. Isn't it so much fun deleting code? Man, I love deleting code. Okay, so we got rid of all of the components. The only thing we're left with is app.razor and the error. Okay, I'm okay with this so far. App settings, we can grab our basic app settings template so that we know what all this application needs. And in fact, we should be able to grab it from here. There we go. This just gives the next developer who doesn't have secrets set up yet the information about what DB contexts and connection strings are required for them to configure in secrets. Because right now, if I'm correct, these are just the MS SQL local DB. Yes, they are. These are just MS SQL local DB, stuff that you can check into a repo. No. Okay, with that, I am going to take a 5-second glance up at this because I've been putting it off long enough. 2 dad jokes for the price of none. Sotherbot says, slept like a log last night. Woke up in the fireplace. Let's hope no one was using it. Otherbot says, my cat was just sick on the carpet. I don't think it's feline well. But it is. Drink of water. And so it shall be done. And so it is. Okay, back to it. Since I got rid of that, yes, this should be coming from persisting authentication state provider. It cannot be used as a parameter because there is no explicit conversion from persisting authentication state provider to authentication state provider because this is the .NET 9 version. What was I thinking? But then again, it is saying authentication state provider could not be found. So let's check that first. Okay, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I don't know why they're still green though. They really should have turned white when they don't have their references. Okay. Okay, so that seems to have gotten rid of the ambiguity between the other namespace for this method call. Good. We're doing good. I think we're getting pretty close to being able to run the application and see if we can log in. Again, I'm reusing the same user secrets, so I didn't need to go in and configure anything. They should already be configured. Actually, you know what? After I accidentally exposed all of my passwords that one time, I reset everything's passwords, and I just need to make sure that those are reset here. And the answer is they are not. Oh, this is a password that didn't get exposed. We're fine. We're fine. We're good. All right. I lost track. Hey person, did you actually deliver our stuff? You're still en route? Where did you end up shopping at? Connecticut? Oh, man. There were like 12 items in our grocery list for this run. Okay, processing. I don't like having pages, but I also don't think that I like having the routable pages at the root because there are these two extras. So what I'm gonna do, which is different than what I've been doing in my other projects, maybe, what did I do for you? Yeah, everything is at the root there. I just don't like having pages, if that wasn't clear. I think it was clear though. For the redirect to login and routes, I would want this to be in its own folder, which means that it's going to get a different namespace. Right, and now that I'm doing this, it makes me remember the other thing that needs to get updated. Two things that need to get updated are program.cs of the client and app.razor so that we can point it to the right routes. Because right now routes does exist here, but we no longer need anything in our client other than program.cs to set up all of our services and everything else. So app now needs this. Great. Many love. And program.cs, which we should only need, man, I thought we agreed on. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this. There we go. Okay, I thought we agreed on that. I got confused. It confused me. Dang it. All right, where's my program.cs for client? Client is going to need a lot of stuff. But for now, yeah, there's so much that doesn't happen anymore on client. Like, for example, the HTTP client, I think we get for free now. I don't need to do a manual injection of the HTTP client. I don't know this for sure. We're going to try it out. If we do, hopefully I'll remember. If not, oh well. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Okay, but still we need add authorization, add cascading authentication state, add cascading add singleton authentication state provider. We don't need this in .NET 9 because of this. However, my auth library is still using .NET 8, so I do need the persistent authentication state provider as the dependency injection for my authentication state provider. Anything else as far as identity setup? No, that's everything. Okay, so can we build? Does it blend? No, it doesn't. What's the real error here? Client doesn't exist. Client doesn't exist. You are absolutely correct. I kind of felt like AI there. You're absolutely right. I forgot to take into consideration that. The thing that you just mentioned. Let me fix that. Here's the exact same code with the exact same error that I gave you before. Okay. Still don't know what the original error is from those messages. I mean, I really don't know what this would be. But it kind of seems like something in my NuGet package reference. Yeah, so okay, so there is really a thing. Oh my gosh. That I really should have made this a Net 8 application because I'm not ready to do Net 9. So what do I think the issue could be with, well, I can't read that anymore. There was no runtime pack for Microsoft ASP.NET Core app available for the specified runtime identifier Blaze or Wazoo. Kind of sounds like it would be on the client side. Is this a thing? Yes, that's a thing. Okay, I'm not saying anything weird about the setup other than I'm using .NET 9. It looks identical to the .NET 8 project. And then what about server? Server is SDK.web, nullable enable, implicit enable, user secrets, and then package versions are all .NET 9. We need WebAssembly server, Entity Framework Core, identity.entity framework core. The only thing that, nope, just kidding. If I was using Newtonsoft, I would put it here, and I think we will be for our, what's it? I can't think of words for our API calls. And for whatever reason, I am directly referencing SQL Server and tools from Entity Framework, but I don't think I need to do that. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything weird with that. What if that isn't actually in the Net9 project? It is. Dang it. What if all it needs is a little bit of finagling, a little bit of finesse to clear and rebuild. Right, so all I am doing is targeting all bin or obj folders, just in case I happen to be at the top level. I don't think I am. No, just minus object is fine. Interesting. Why is it only net9 stuff? Because I'm in the net9 folder only. I don't usually like doing this with Visual Studio open, but what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm feeling lazy. El Taco. Did you finish? I don't see any progress bars though. Wishful thinking. Okay, well this build, I am gonna grab my groceries off the porch. After this is done deleting, you are 99% complete. Only 5 seconds remaining. 2 hours later. My goodness. Like literally 2 hours later. You can do it. I know you can. Watch. Watch. You're just gonna do it. You don't have any dialogues open. There it goes. There it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna rebuild solution. You guys enjoy the music. I will play a quick ad so that we have pre-rolls turned off for the next hour, and I'll be right back. I am back. And I brought snacks. Oh. Big Amy got me hooked on these. These are little stroopwafel things. I only ever buy one individual thing, individually wrapped one. So I don't overeat on them. Okay, we're getting the same error, but also other errors. Huh? Why other errors? No, no. What if we start here? Shared, do you build? Shared client, do you build? It's like a game show. Shared server, do you build? Thank you. Ages. All right. So all of the main setup projects do build, which is good news for us. But now, for whatever reason, it's kind of acting like none of our .NET 9 package references are good. ¿Y por qué no? Dice nada. No dice nada. ¿Qué dices? Dime algo. Oh, come on. Doesn't mousing over these things usually give you a tooltip with the issue that's going on with it? No? Is it something deeper? Yeah, that's just giving me the tooltip for the name of the package, but not for what's broken in the package. Track package. I'm just going to close Visual Studio and reopen it. See if that fixes it. That always fixes things. How many apps are we doing? Did it start? Is he on? He's on. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Since today is a very special day and we have celebrations to do, I'm going to end the stream here. Also because I'm not feeling like streaming anymore. So we're going to head over to, you guessed it, Irish John Games. Raid. Irish John Games. I'm still going to do the music stream, I think. I'm really not feeling it today, but I'm trying to work with myself and do a better job of dealing with whatever this is. But that's going to be it for me for now. I'm going to keep going the direction that I'm going. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, see you whenever. Enjoy. Have the fun. Eat many tacos. Napalms. Soft tacos. I mean wet tacos. Yeah, thank you for being here, Reg. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao. I'll be back on Wednesday. Hopefully with more or less, whatever this is. Okay. music.